What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Art of the Party podcast. My name is Jeff Osuji, CEO of Eventnoire. We're here live from New York City, the Big Apple. One of my favorite event hosts, brother that's from New York and does some of the best content I've ever seen, create some of the dopest content along with dope experiences. One of the best I've seen in really building anticipation before an event. My brother Corey K, welcome to the Art of the Party,
How you
brother.
feeling, man? How you feeling? Welcome to New York, man.
Oh, amazing, man. Thank you so much, man. You can't really get it for real if you're not getting in New York City.
You got, yeah.
So I become
New York is where it's at, man.
Man, I've been coming here for 12 years, and it's always a good vibe. And today we brought the Chicago cold with us because it's cold as hell. So,
Yeah, it's freezing out here right now.
brother, we're going to jump right into it, man.
Let's do it.
I've been a fan of your work for some time, man. I got
Thank you, brother.
introduced to you by the legend Kenny Burns, who
Yes.
is both of our big brothers who connected us. And he said, man, you go to New York, you got to connect with Corey K.
Yes, appreciate you.
And when I got a chance to check you out on social, I'm like, man, this brother does a great job of really just creating this excitement and this anticipation. And you do it through content. And as we know, if you're an event marketer, you have to create content not only to create that FOMO, but also to build anticipation for your event.
Yes, content is key, man.
100%. So Corey, let's jump into it, brother. How'd you get into events? And tell us more about yourself, your upbringing, your background, and how you got into events.
Well, like you said, my name is Corey K, background Trinidadian. So once you hear that, you already know parties is the number one
Caribbean
thing.
population out here.
Yes. So I've always been a fan of bringing people together for a good time. I actually think that's my gift and my calling. Even if it wasn't events, it would have been something to bring the people together for something positive. And my event started as a kid, like, even in junior high school, we used to throw little things in the gym and throw like sleepovers in the school, and they always wanted me to spearhead those events and those things. And I didn't really think about it that deep as a kid. Like, why would they always pick me? Why? But when I got into high school, one of my friends, I was popular in high school, one of my friends said, you should throw parties because, we want to go out too, even though we can't drink at certain things, like we want to go out. So I threw my first event in high school. I went to Lafayette High School in Brooklyn. It was a success. And, back then we're not really thinking about the money aspect of things. It's just like, we just want to throw a dope party where our friends could come out and get dressed up. We did it. It was successful. And then we just kept elevating from there. I had a team of people that we do events with in high school, and we elevated from there. My thing from a young age was the creativity was always in me, right? And I wanted to do things outside the box from a young age. So I wanted to get the clubs that the adults partied at. I wanted to party the way the celebrities partied and the way we saw it on TV and bring it back to our community so people could get a taste of what it's like just to feel like a superstar for that one night. And even from that age, I wanted everybody to feel like they are that person. So it wasn't about who pops the most bottles or who did this or who looked the best. Like, everybody who walks in, I wanted them to feel like they are the one.
Nice. Let's take it back a bit. So you were raised in Brooklyn. You're doing guys in Brooklyn. So New York is huge, right? There's different boroughs, of course. You got Harlem or Bronx. So how do Brooklyn people party differently than I would say folks from Harlem or the Bronx in general? How do you show Brooklyn?
Brooklyn is about, we love to party, we love to have fun, but it's about the fashion as well. Like, Brooklyn will always want to come out looking the best of the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? I no disrespect to all the borough or no, but Brooklyn, man, like, we come out, we want to look good, we want to party sophisticatedly, like, we want to do sexy stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just Brooklyn, but we know how to have fun also at the same time. So Brooklyn is like a marriage between the two.
Everybody know from Brooklyn goes hard. So
Yeah.
come from, of course, a lineage of dope folks in the entertainment space, and say, I say you carve out your space in an event. So tell us about your first big event where you really knew it was an opportunity to really make some money and also really curate amazing communities and things of that nature.
Well, I had one of my first big events was called the Tennis Skirt Lacoste Shirt Party. So it was like a tennis themed party, and we used Lacoste to, as the brand that we wanted to push versus Polo, because I felt like, Lacoste was more, a lot of people in my high school was wearing Lacoste at that time for some reason. So yeah, so we wanted to do that. So we did even like I'm doing now, we created content 20 years ago. Like, we went to an actual Lacoste store. I spoke with the manager and I told them what we were doing. They loved it. And we did a photo shoot in the actual Lacoste store at Madison Avenue. You know what I mean? So even from back then, just creating that content and creating that anticipation. And I used to live by a mall called Kings Plaza Mall in Brooklyn. And the week before the party, I went in there, and every store that sold Lacoste, like Macy's, I had a couple boutiques. they said all of the cars sold out. That's when I thought to myself, like, yeah, we onto something here. And even back then, we wanted to make money, but it was more about the community. Like, we wanted to create a community of people who could show the world, like, yeah, we're not 21 yet, but we know how to party. We know how to party sexy. Like, and I wanted to go to the clubs that the adults were doing. So I went to some of these nightclubs. One of the first ones we did is a nightclub called The Rock. Well, it was in Brooklyn, and it was obviously a 21 and over club. And I went to them and was like, this is what I want to do. The guy believed in me, but we couldn't sell no liquor. So it was 2,500 kids in there drinking ginger ale and sodas and stuff like that. And the word spread so fast that these events, like back then the name of our crew was a higher level crew. So everybody wanted to come to these events. Like, they're like, yo, these kids are doing the clubs that the adults are doing. They're booking the biggest DJs. And, that's when we had like the Funk Flexes and DJ Selfs. And we 18, 17 years old. And yeah, we did that for a while. And I was always a person, my father's a fashion designer, so I always grew up in fashion, and I seen the way he used to wear suits, and my uncles wore suits and stuff. And after a while, I'm like, I just felt like I needed to shift from what we were doing, and I needed to elevate and maybe start doing more things in the city. And that's when guys like Diddy used to live in New York, and these big party promoters used to do stuff in New York, and all the celebs came out, and it was just flashy and dope in hotel ballrooms. And I said, I want to do that too. Like, you know what I mean? So I decided to do my first Black Excellence 14 years ago. Right?
Tell us more about Black Excellence, bro.
Yeah, Black Excellence is my birthday party, which a lot of people don't know, but it's a black tie event for us. Like, I always call it, this is our Met Gala. Right? So I started it 14 years ago, and it was tough getting people to dress up early in the beginning, like having it, because, with us, the only time we wore suits sometimes is either to go to a wedding or a funeral, or if you're graduating or some shit like that. So especially getting the guys to really follow suit was a little battle in the beginning. But I didn't understand how important Black Excellence was until a couple of years ago. Some guys who like were in the streets and, doing their thing. The first time they ever wore a suit was to Black Excellence. And one of my friends actually told me him putting on a suit and the response he got from girls and from even other guys, like telling him he looked nice and stuff like that, changed his whole outlook and his whole perspective on life. So after that, he started wanting to wear suits more and dress up a little bit more. A few months later, he got a corporate job. A few months after that, he found his wife. And to this day, he's still with his wife. So,
and a lot of y'all out there fighting dress codes.
Yeah.
Oh, big advocate. Yeah,
big advocate, man.
Dress up, you look good, you feel good, man.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
To have a good time.
That's what Black Excellence is, because it starts within. Like, when you dress up, you feel more confident about yourself. You got your hair cut, you're looking good, smelling good, and you go out there into the world with this shield, like you feel like you're Superman, and then you're attracting all the good stuff that you're thinking about in your head. Like, you know what I mean? The power of your mind is so crazy. When it shouldn't be closed to have to make you feel like, you're a superhero, but unfortunately it is. Like, when you look good and you smell good and you're well groomed, you walk into the world with this type of confidence. So you're attracting the things that you love. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
100%. So
that's what Black Excellence is.
I love it. I love it. He hosts every year. Hosted on Eventnoire this year. Thank you again for the support, brother. I appreciate you. It looked amazing. The content was dope. How do you approach content marketing with your event? What's your advice for event promoters out there / brands that are looking to really create dope content around an event?
See, the thing with me, like I said, that's 20 years ago when I did my first Lacoste party. We went into the actual Lacoste store to do the event, and the anticipation after that was through the roof. So from that day, I said every event I do, I want to build up the hype. So when people come there, it's like, I want people to wake up the next morning like, yo, that was the greatest party I ever been to. And they're talking about it for weeks later. So content is everything, man. And content helps create that anticipation for your party. Like me, I go way deep into content. Like people always tell me I should be an actor or something, because I want people to feel how the event is gonna feel. So I create these different experiences and create these different scenes. Like, I did a lot of movie scenes over and stuff like that. So it just adds to the promo. Like, a lot of these event planners nowadays, I feel like in New York, especially everywhere, event planners just got lazy, man.
Yeah, people
Just-
got too cool too.
you got too cool, you got too lazy, you got too content, and it's like, let me just put out a flyer and just hope people come. And it's like, what are you doing different from the 100 other event planners that's out there that, you know?
I think all of us out there, I mean, you've actually challenged me to start creating more contests. Like promoters, whether you're a marketer, whether you're a brand, whether you're a CEO, we can no longer be too cool. The word is too big now, and everybody has a channel to get out there. We're competing with so many different people that you got to get up out there, put yourself out there. So
You do.
if you're hosting an event, if you're a brand, get out there, create some dope content, and you know the era of being too cool is I think
It's over. It's over for that, man. The person who goes the farthest is the person who works the hardest. Like, we see a lot of people who work hard that may not be as talented as you, but they going hard. They out there. They're connected with the people, and that's another thing that I love also that a lot of event planners are not doing anymore. You're not connecting with the people, your core people who are actually coming to support you. Like, you throw a party and you're standing in your section the whole time, and you're on the couch, you're popping bottles, doing whatever. Me, I like to walk around and feel like the people had some type of connection with me. Like, we all one community. I'm not better than nobody who's here, because you don't have to come to my party. You don't have to support me. Like, events is a leisure. It's not like a necessity.
we're hosting an event today, right, you know what I'm saying, upstairs in this rooftop here in Manhattan, and also hosting an event at Grammys weekend. I told my team, look, the whole purpose of the event is to connect with people.
Right.
We're hosting means you're asking people what they need, what they want, talking to as many people as possible. So it's an experience. If somebody comes to your event, they should feel like they're being taken care of. So
Yeah.
they should
Feel like they are part of the event. Like, you know what I mean?
Fam-
Go connect with the people, talk to them, tell them thank you. Something as simple as a thank you could go very far, and they'll be like, you know, they'll go home and think about that. Like, yo, this guy was cool, man. Like, he wasn't moving cocky. He wasn't acting like he's better than us. Like, so that will create a repeat customer, and they'll remember that.
Question for you: what's your most viral piece of content that you ever put out?
The most viral content I ever did was damn, let me think. Separate from events, when I post stuff with my daughter, that goes crazy. Like, I do a lot of content with my daughter.
Shout out my boy Ross Mack. He does a lot of content with his daughter. Yeah.
So, but when I did the Martin scene over the what's the Kung Fu guy name?
Yeah. I'm a Halloween.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Halloween.
remember that.
I did that over. I did a whole video over, and it wasn't even for no event or nothing. I just like that's probably in my second life or second stage is being an actor. I just like creating content and doing it because it draws traffic to my page, and two, it shows people that I have a personality.
Yep.
I'm not just this guy that throws party. Like, people see that, like, I have a funny side to me. I have a personality, and that helps my events also, because people want to come and meet me and, you know, see who's this guy that's doing this dope content.
I
You
love
know what
it.
I'm saying? Content is key. Like, even with these apps out here, it's like you gotta stay ahead of the curve, man. They got people out here that's doing a whole bunch of content on TikTok, and they're making tons of money. So it's like, we can't be average anymore. We can't just do normal and figure you'll get by. Like, normal is over.
I understand. I'm with you 100%. We got to get out there, got to create content. You've worked with so many celebs in New York and outside of it. I think I saw Busta Rhymes at your birthday party last year. Talk to us about some of the celebrities you work with and how you've been able to manage and really sustain those relationships.
The best part, well, one of the most key parts about having,
Who have you worked with too?
I've worked with Diddy, I've worked with Busta Rhymes, I've worked with Lenny S, I've worked with SZA, I've worked with Swizz Beatz, I've worked with Jay-Z, I've worked with ASAP Ferg, ASAP Rocky.
And who was your, not to just say your favorite, but what was your favorite experience with some of those people that you've worked with?
Two of the most legendary events that even made me want to elevate my game was Diddy's 40th birthday party at the Plaza Hotel in New York, and Kenny Burns' 50th birthday party in what was that in? It was at Prince's house, Prince's actual house that he grew up in.
Oh wow,
I forgot where he did it, but
that's when he had the whole purpose on.
that was a
Okay.
Yeah, so those two events, and even Kenny Burns' 35th birthday party, he did it at the Versace mansion in Miami.
About that, yeah.
So those different type of experiences really inspire me to be like, nah, like, we got to give the people something more. These people are really investing their money into us, investing their time. we got to give them something different outside the box. So those are two celebrities who actually inspire me a lot when it comes to this hospitality game. Like,
I love that, man.
and to answer the second part of the question, keeping these relationships, I don't treat them like celebrities. Like, I actually build relationships with them where we're talking about our kids, we're talking about our families, and talking about finances, everything, and they just happen to be celebrities. So I don't treat no celebrity like, Busta Rhymes, that's somebody I speak to almost every day, like a Lenny S. A lot of people in the industry are people who are actually my friends. So it's like, just build strong relationships with them and make them see that you're actually genuine.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with working with people of that stature. They have so many people trying to just take.
Something to take, yeah.
And yeah, you got to bring some type of value to the table. And growing up, people say you can't. It's a bad thing being used. It's actually a good thing being used if you could reciprocate the usefulness. Like,
Man.
like if you can't be used, you're useful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
approach with engaging a lot of talent is I always try to bring something to the table. To your point, if you bring money to the table, it's always a win. You have some of your celebrities that you both that they just come get the bag and get up out of there.
Right.
I've had that a lot, happen a lot. Excuse me. But you have some folks to your point that you could actually build a nice relationship with.
Yeah.
And then they'll come through and look out for you for the low, and they'll just look.
Definitely, and create opportunities for them. If you have celebrities or people who have some type of leverage, create an opportunity for them, especially if you're an event planner. Like, make them see the bigger picture. Like, create opportunities for them to make money and them to get a bigger following. So it's not just all right, I book you and you come and that's it. You go home. Like, what's the next play?
100%. Now, tell us about New York culture. Like, of course, everywhere nightlife is changing. Events are changing. What's unique about the New York event landscape?
The New York event landscape is, right now, I could see New York shifting a little bit where people want to go to more things that's more intimate. They want to go to the lounges. They want to go to the Soho houses, the double houses, the private clubs. Like, New York is getting a lot more exclusive now. I feel like people enjoy going to these spaces where it's like 200 people, but it's 200 of the right people versus the huge events. Like, the huge events are big in New York, the festivals and the big parties like how I do. But like I said, I feel like the shift is coming.
Definitely.
The shift is coming.
I think
everything is a circle.
I think it's branded experiences, intimate experiences. I know people are selling less tickets now, right? There are a lot of free events that you're competing with.
Right.
A lot of brands are actually, hosting their own experiences as opposed to partnering with a brand ambassador ourselves.
Even artists are doing their own events now versus like having a promoter book them in certain things. So,
so if you're an event host out there, we have to really know how to curate a room. That's something we're doing on Grammys weekend, something we do a couple of times this year. Also getting ready to launch the In Crowd, which is going to be a private community for event lovers. They host as well, so stay tuned for that, y'all. It might be out by the time you guys hit us. Man, Corey, tell people out there, especially event hosts, right? If they want to do an event out of New York, and for people who come to New York, right? What should they look out for in terms of being able to have success in this market, right? And if you're somebody who just loves events, where should you hit up when you're in town?
My thing is, wherever you go, even New York, it could be in Miami, Houston, wherever, just do your homework, man. See what's going on, see what the people like, connect with the people who are actually popping in that city, and, just introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm Corey, I'm from so-and-so, I want to come to New York, and do something, present your resume, let them see what you do, and connect with the people who are really moving in the city and find out, what clubs are hot and what places are dope. As far as New York, like I said, right now in the winter, obviously it's winter, people want to be in more intimate indoor spaces. Like, they got places like Hearsay, they got Harbor Club, a bunch of different rooftops. In the summertime, there's like Industry City, there's Coney Island Art Walls. What a lot of event planners are doing, this is what I've been doing. We get raw spaces and create the look that we want. Like, I rather that because that's what I'm used to. It's a lot more work, a lot more money. It's profitable if you do it right, but it's a lot more work versus something that's turnkey. Me, I want people to see what's in my head. So that's why I like raw spaces, because I could just build it from the ground up and say like, yeah, this is what I did.
That was does your white party at the
white, yeah, Tropez,
yeah.
yes, and
colors.
Black Excellence. Black Excellence is the only event I do where I do turnkey spaces, because for Black Excellence we try to get venues that we're not going to on a regular. Like I did Capital Ballroom, which is right across the street, actually. I did there for 6 years, and that is one of the hardest places to get in New York, but that creates the hype as well, and that FOMO effect where I can't miss this because I'm only coming here one time for the year. And what I had to learn with Black Excellence was discipline and sacrifice, because Black Excellence is not my biggest earning event, but what that does for my brand in the long term means a whole lot more. So I sacrificed that upfront initial money for the better of the brand.
Yeah, I love it. And as an event host, I noticed too many times I've lost money and I made money. Sometimes you do things just to make sure you invest in your brand.
Yes, you have to. You have to. It's not about the money. The money will come. Cool. You know, you give people a good, proper experience and they'll continue to support you.
I love it. I love it. So, Corey, before we close things up, man, I want to thank you all for being here, give you a salute. Make sure we give you flowers as one of the dopest event hosts on the East Coast and the country. I think you're really one of the best at building that anticipation and building these custom built out experiences. So for folks who want to partner with you, whether it's in New York or in another market, how can they get in touch with you? He's also a Eventnoire ambassador. So you can learn more about how to work with Eventnoire. Urban Venture Fund is our partner. They're also investing in events. Tap in with them. How can we get in touch with you, brother?
Well, my Instagram is CORREY_K, and we're doing a lot of dope things this year. Like, obviously, my events in New York, but we're bringing Black Excellence to Africa. This is the first place I'm actually taking.
Hey, that's somebody land.
We're working with Abdul and the Afro Future team over there. So we got to figure out a way how to get Eventnoire involved.
Of course. Shout out to Abdul, man.
For that week.
100%.
And I want to bring Black Excellence to different, me and you spoke about this, to different cities that would appreciate that event.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also this year, I want to start like you said, a members club, right?
Yeah.
Where we're doing events in spaces that's very hard to get, but it's limited to a few. Like, it's not for 500 to 1,000 people. It might be 100 of the right people, but you got to sign up. You got to be a member, and, you know, only members will be able to, you know, and the thing with that is, you know, there'll be a few people who may feel a way about that, especially if they didn't get accepted or they get invited or something, but that also creates, that also creates that FOMO too, because, you know, people are gonna want to do whatever it takes to experience that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing across the globe events are getting smaller, even across our platform, seeing so let's take it so it's more free events, but again, it's experiences with the right people. So that's where the shit of the industry's going. That's why Crowd's launching, excited about that. Shout out to our partners at Pronghorn. Make sure you sip on some 10-1 rum, some Evans Honda, and some other black-owned portfolio spirits of theirs. Get ready for some dope experiences with Corey K, as well as our other partners at Eventnoire. So shout out to everybody for tuning into Art of Party Podcast, live from the Big Apple. Corey, anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Black Excellence.
Cheer. Peace out, y'all.